That's the news. I'm Tianlu. China is expecting an average 1.8 million daily trips across its borders during the Chinese New Year holiday. That's more than triple from a year ago and the same level as 2019. Airports in Shanghai, Guangzhou and Beijing will be among the busiest. The National Immigration Administration has made preparations to guarantee fast and smooth operations at ports of entry. China's Meteorological Authority has renewed an orange alert for snowstorms in some regions of the country. Heavy snow will hit parts of Henan, Anhui, Jiangsu and Shandong through Monday. The Meteorological Center has advised authorities to be aware of the impact of extensive snow and freezing weather during the ongoing Spring Festival travel rush. The US and the UK have launched attacks against dozens of sites in Yemen. The Pentagon says the US attacks hit military facilities which Houthi forces have used to attack Israel-linked ships in the Red Sea. The Houthis have been conducting missile or drone attacks against ships transiting the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. The Yemeni group has made it clear that they have no intention of scaling back their campaign. John Gambaro has more.
These airstrikes were launched in the dead of night. We know that they targeted some 6 provinces in Yemen held by Yemen's Houthi rebels. These are the rebels who are backed by Iran, who have been launching those attacks on shipping in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden since November. Now, some of these strikes hit in Sana'a, which is the capital. We don't know exactly how much damage these strikes did. However, the U.S. military says it and Britain targeted sites that it's associated with Yemen's Houthi rebels' missile supply, underground missile bunkers, as well as missile launch sites, drone launch sites, as well as, for the first time, helicopters. Now, the Houthis say that they're going to continue their attacks.
Iraq's foreign ministry has summoned the U.S. chargé d'affaires in Baghdad in protest against the U.S. airstrikes in Iraq. The United States launched strikes against Iran-linked targets in Syria and Iraq after an attack in Jordan that killed 3 U.S. troops. The Iraqi government says U.S. attacks killed 16 people. It has drawn widespread condemnation. Syria says it has served to fuel conflict in the Middle East in a very dangerous way. Iran has condemned the move as violations of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. A top Hamas official says the group's leadership is studying the proposal for a truce with Israel. Osman Hamdan says Hamas' response to the motion put forward by the US, Egypt, Qatar and Israel will be based on conditions including a permanent ceasefire. Israel insists that its hostages be released in exchange for a pause in fighting. Hamas has refused unless Israel ends its offensive and withdraws from Gaza. The militant group is also seeking a broader agreement that would include a long-term truce and reconstruction, the lifting of an Israeli-Egyptian blockade, and the release of prisoners held in Israeli jails. U.S. media projections show that President Joe Biden is dominating 2 other candidates in the Democratic Party's first official primary in South Carolina. Black vote in the state 4 years ago helped ignite Biden's campaign and ultimately propelled him to the White House. The Republican primary in South Carolina is on February the 24th, putting former Governor Nikki Haley against Donald Trump. Chilean President Gabriel Boric says at least 46 people are dead and more than 200 missing in forest fires in the central Valparaiso region. Authorities have sent messages to residents in Venezuela to leave. The Interior Minister says there are over 90 forest fires burning in the center and south of the country amid unusually high temperatures. The fires have destroyed 2 bus terminals and caused blackouts. China plans to launch 2 test satellites into a lunar orbit to establish a communication between the Moon and the Earth. The twin satellites will help to validate new technologies for navigation and signal transmissions. China is also planning to launch Chang'e-2, a relay satellite for communications between the far side of the Moon and the Earth. It will serve as a relay platform for the 4th phase of China's lunar exploration program. And that's the news. I'm Tianlu.